The journey of yoga. The journey of yoga works at, always remember, I will deal in detail with that. What I think I repeated a couple of times, I don't know, let me know it. So now see that you are teaching and something you don't know, and then your mind says getting upset, frustrated. No. Why to get upset? I don't know, so let me know it. Today I don't know, tomorrow I will know it. Oh, it's a very interesting principle. I don't know, let me know it. So we should never get upset and frustrated. On the other side, if I get upset and frustrated, instantly allow your intellect to think, okay, I don't know. I will come to know. So why to get frustrated and upset? That is what the real yoga is. The second, once I know the principle, I should know it, I should understand it clearly. So when I understand it clearly, then what happens? There is a freedom from the doubt. There is no doubt about the knowledge. The knowledge that is free from the doubt is the real knowledge. When you wake up in the morning, do you do you ever have a false notion that you are not a girl? You are a girl. 100% knowledge.
Yeah.
So similarly, we should check what we have studied and what we have understood. Is it totally free from the doubt? There is a clarity. That is our second step. I do not understand. So let me understand. We both agree about this pretty girl. She asks a lot of questions. So, what it means? She wants to understand. This is what the second step is. Because if you don't ask a question, you don't understand. Okay, this weird guy is teaching. Okay, I will write it down. I'll send you the assignment. But I don't understand. No, that is not the way. The way is to understand. How do we understand? We ask the questions. So once we there is a knowledge, there is a clarity, there is no doubt. Third step is I do not experience, hence I should practice. So what happens? You know the principles, you have a clarity, there is no doubt. That intellect in your head will inspire your mind to do the practice. Normally, we don't do the practice because we keep the doubt in our head all the time. So, when I don't experience, so let me practice and change. So, with the knowledge and the practice together, we experience the change in our life. Yeah, but sometime it happens that we feel we have not changed. We still have those issues in our behavior, in our attitude. What should we do? There comes the fourth step. So then it means that the mind has stored some garbage which is preventing us to change. So we need to understand that. We need to understand what is that garbage, what problem is in the mind. So once we know the root cause of the problem, we understand how to remove it, we do the practice again and we change. That is all about yoga. What Hayden said to you, did you text her?
Yeah, I just asked her if she's on her way.
Ah, she's on her way.
She has not replied yet, but we'll see.
So
Fingers crossed.
this is. Yeah. So these 4 step helps us to understand our thought, our speech, our action, or any branch of knowledge, any knowledge, whether it's a science, whether it's yoga, whether it is meditation. So let us first call and response. Asatu ma satgamaya.
Asatoma Satagamaya.
Beautiful. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya.
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya.
Beautiful. Mrityorma amritangamaya.
Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
What a beautiful expression. So we will do it together. Let us start. Asatu ma satgamaya. Tamasu ma jyotir.
Jyotirgamaya.
Mrityorma
Amritam Gamaya. Om
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti,
Shanti
Shanti.
Shanti.
So we have recited the second step is knowing the meaning. Lead us from the false to the truth. First line, Asatoma Satagame. Second line, lead us from the darkness to the light. Whether we say darkness to the light or we can say lead us from ignorance to wisdom. Both are right. And the third one, very good. Third one, lead us from mortality to immortality. And the last one, let there be peace, peace and peace. Let us do the second mantra, call and response first. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina.
Beautiful. Sarve santu niramaya.
Sarve Shanto Niravaya.
Sarve bhadrani pashyantu.
Sarve Bhadrani Parshentu.
Beautiful. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhaved. Ma kaschid dukha
Kakshitoke Parave.
bhaved. Let us do a repeated call and response so that it will settle in your mind. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah.
Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina.
Sarve santu niramaya.
Sarve Shanto Niravaya.
Beautiful. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu.
Sarve Bhadrani Parshentu.
Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhaved.
Ma Kashchit Duk Marikawe.
So let us do it together if you remember. You remember?
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
I'll try.
Okay. Sarve bhavan sukhina. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhave. Let us do it together while looking at, I have sent you in a chat message, English transliteration.
All right.
Sarve bhavan sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Fourth line, you have to just give a small pause. Ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavid. Let us do it together. Ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavid. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words. Ma kaschid dukh bhag bhavid. Let us do it one more time together. Sarve bhavantu
Sukhina.
sarve santu
Niramaya. Sarve
bhadrani
Pashantu.
pashyantu ma
Kashchit
kachid dukha bhag bhavi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So third Shanti is always recited Shanti. But the first two Shanti, 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 Shanti. Let us do the final time. Sarve bhavan sukhinah. Just give a small pause so that your mind is ready and Sarve santu
Niramaya.
Sarve
Patrani Parshentu.
beautiful Ma
Kaschit
Duk Bhag Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti. Third one. Shanti. Beautiful. So, you know the meaning. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all be blessed. May none suffer from any sorrow. Let there be peace, peace, and peace.
All right.
Good.
Oh, Hayden just texted me. She won't be able to come today.
Okay. Okay. So now you have to, first, you have to call in response to our Hayden Asatoma. That is, you have a beautiful recitation. That's what I always want.
Thank
Uh,
you.
everyone do it. So, so you have to guide call and response, and then you do it together. I'll be listening, and if there is any issue, then I will join.
Okay.
And as if tell him, don't tell her, but as if you are teaching her.
Mm-hmm. I will let her know.
Yeah, yeah. So then we will go for yes, we will go a little deeper into this asatoma satgamaya, and then we will have a practice of relaxation, mindfulness, and also the self-awareness practice. So I have already explained to you, I do not know, let me know it. So now when we expand it, we understand that whenever you are upset, it means you are not knowing the real situation event. So why to be upset? Ask your intellect, oh, why do I should be upset and frustrated? Let me know it. In any situation, any event, if the dad or your mom or your siblings or your friends, so you maintain an awareness, okay, you get upset with me, but tell me, guide me. I did not understand. Can you explain it again? You're done. So that is the first step in the journey of any knowledge. And then the second is sometimes we do not understand. Why we do not understand? Because we are not attentive. Why we are not attentive? Because mind is upset. So I do not understand. Let me understand means, okay, let me start asking the question. And you can also write. So first step of understanding is pay attention to the word. Then try to find the meaning of that word. And then the knowledge hidden in that word. So when we understand, you say, take an example. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve means all, everyone. Bhavantu, there be, let it happen. Huh? That is the literal meaning. And sukhina means happiness. Okay, let us go to little, now will understand it. So, everyone, what it means, everyone? It includes every human being, it includes every living being, it includes everything on the earth planet. So now you see that we are getting the knowledge. So word, meaning, knowledge. That is one way to understand. I'm going deeper because you grasp it easily and you're receptive. So first is, do you see that? A word, meaning. Now the meaning of the second word, bhavantu, there be. Let there be means happiness for all. Who is saying this? I am saying. Should I include myself? Yes. When I say everyone, it also includes me. It includes my parents, it includes my friends. But if you want to make your mind clear, include your enemies also. We are not learning politics, So no Republican, no Democrat. We are learning yoga. So we include everyone. After
No
all,
enemies in the common mind.
huh?
No enemies in the common spirit.
No enemies. That is very important in our life. Why? To keep the calmness of the mind. So now comes the third word. Literal meaning of that word sukhina means happiness. Okay, so we should be now understanding, is happiness outside or inside? Happiness is inside according to yoga and the Eastern West. How can you say you are eating pasta and then become aware and see is the happiness is in the pasta or do you feel inside? You feel it inside. So happiness
Mhm.
is always there inside. What is that happiness? Happiness is our real nature. Go a little deeper. Happiness is my real nature. Like the sweetness of a sugar is the real nature. You put that sugar in anything. You put it into ice cream, candy, dessert. Even if you put it into the salt, it remains sweet. What is essential nature? Essential nature means it cannot be undone. You cannot change it. Oh, that is why you are saying happiness is our essential nature. I cannot undo it. Yes, I cannot undo it. But during the day, in different events, I feel upset, I feel unhappy. Why it happens? It is because of the mind. We have to change this mind. We have to do the practice. We have to remove the impurity of the mind. So, when we remove the impurity of the mind, then what happens? Then we discover happiness is our essential nature. What is that impurity? Again, you can go on and on for understanding. So that is what is the second step. I do not understand. Let me understand it. So there is no reason to be upset and frustrated or react or anger or agitated. There is no reason at all. We create a reason. So when we remember, I do not know, let me know it. I do not understand, let me understand it. The moment you pick up these two steps, the mind will become clear. It will remove its obsession, it will remove its impurity, and then we start understanding what the happiness means. But we have a clarity now. Now we have to do the practice. Practice means we remove the impurities from the mind to discover the happiness within me. That is how we understand the happiness is our real nature. Now, there is an ocean is equated to the world in which we live, think, and speak. The ocean is equal to the world, and the earth is equal or equated to the real self. Why I said so? Do you know frog? When the frog lays its eggs, the baby frog is known as tadpole. Tadpole looks like a small fish, tiny fish. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Ah. As long as there is a tail of the baby frog, it cannot jump on the earth. The moment that tail disappears as frog grows into fully grown frog, then only it can jump on the earth. So now in this example, there are three things. First is the world is like an ocean, water, everywhere the water is. And the earth is like the real self, and this tail is like ignorance. So if the ignorance disappears, fully grown frog jumps onto the earth.
Ooh, did I lose you? Sir, you're frozen from me right now. I will try and relog back onto this.
Yes, we got it again. We got it again. Yes, yes.
There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you froze up on me for a second.
So the word is, we are living in this world of water, the ocean. We have lot of challenges, problems, being upset, reaction. So being upset, frustrated is nothing but we always keep our tail. Tail is nothing but ignorance, impurity of the mind. So what is yoga? To grow into knowledge by understanding, doing the practice and experience the change. So the moment we experience the change, we continue to live into the same world, but not affected, not influenced. So my master used to say a frog, as long as it remains tadpole, cannot jump out of the sea on the land. So as long as we keep our ignorance, what is there are many layers of ignorance. No, you made me unhappy. How come you made me unhappy? No, I'm not getting the food that I like. That is why I'm unhappy. But happiness is within you. It is not in the food. So then the mind, when it gets obsessed in the world with the liking and disliking, then it reacts, then it frustrated. All these accumulated at one place is known as the ignorance and the impurity of the mind. What yoga does, yoga removes that ignorance. That is the real journey of yoga. Let us take a simple example. Yeah. What? This is, I would say, it has a battery operated watch. Then we have analog watch. It is manually done. So you can say manual watch, battery operated watch, digital watch, and smartwatch. What is common? Watch. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Why we use watch?
To track time?
To track time. Do you see the time in the watch or do you see the numbers in the watch?
The numbers?
You see the numbers, but number is not a time. And you answered correctly that to track the time, to know the time. But when I see the time, it is now 5:30. I use the number. Where is the time? I,
That's
I,
just our symbol for it.
I experience in my intellect. I experience in my intellect, but time as such is not seen. Time as such is not seen. First thing to understand what is manual watch, battery operated watch. You see, then I said digital watch. Then I said smartwatch. So watch is a common factor in all, right?
Mhm.
But when I asked you that what we do with the watch to track the time, to know the time, But do I see the time in? No, I see from 1 to 12 digits. I don't see the time.
Mm-hmm.
But still, to track the time, I use the watch. Watch is common. Time is common whether it is battery operated, manual, digital, or smart. Time is essential nature of a watch. What has changed outside? You may have battery operated, you may have digital, you may have smart. It shows the same time everywhere in the world. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You cannot say that my watch shows a different time than yours. Time is time. Now, is every a human being? Yes. Is this beard guy a human being? Yes. Is
Probably.
probably everyone is a human being. Is Hayden is a human being? Yes. Is Casey a human being? Yes. Now go to the word and the meaning. Human plus being is human. Being is common. Animal being, living beings, non-living beings. Hmm? Compare that example. So being is common. Can you show where is the being? No, you can show the shape and the size, gender of a first particular person, but I cannot see the being. I cannot see the time. That being is always there. That being is the real self. Are you getting it?
Mm-hmm.
That being is the real self. We always say living beings, non living beings. So, being is everywhere. Being is independent and everywhere. The time is independent of battery operated, manual, digital, and the smartwatch. It is independent. Being is independent. Being in you, being in here are the same. That being is the real self. We normally talk about where is the real self? Here and now. This is how we understand in the beginning. Are you clear?
Mm-hmm.
I gave this example. You can give hundreds of examples. Your smartphone, my smartphone, hmm? Casey's smartphone, Casey's phone. Don't you? So brand is different, shape and the size is different, the color is different. But what we do with the phone? Calling feature is essential. If the calling is not there, it cannot be a phone. So every human being, Girish human being, Casey human being, tiger being, I'm not using the human, tiger animal being, bird animal being, plant beings, being is always common, and that being is the real self present in everyone. Yoga is the discovery of that real self. That being is known as pure consciousness, that being is known as real self, that being is known as true nature, which is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Are you clear?
Uh-huh.
You're learning something new,
Mm-hmm.
very different. I have been talking about real self, true nature, but now we know without being, Here, without being there, I cannot communicate. Being supplies the awareness, being supplies the consciousness to the mind, to the sense organs. So, through that sense organ, the consciousness recognizes you that you are every here is a beer guy and we are happy. It is without being, we cannot do anything. That is why what happens when the person dies, we say he has left. Body is still there. Battery operated outer frame of the watch is still there. Digital still there. Smart still there. But what is the essential nature of the watch is the time. One of the most important thing that we should understand, this being cannot be seen by the sense organ and the mind, but can be known. It can be known. Do you see the stars in the afternoon? No. Doesn't mean the star is not there. Either. Similarly, that being is always present. It is always there. It is only one. Time is one in all the watches. Outer frames are different. So the frame that you have is known as every. The frame this guy has is known as Girish. Casey has a different frame, means the body is different, but being is the same. It is only one. So to know that real self is the journey of yoga. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So I just opened this topic to know what exactly is Hatha Yoga. Do you remember? Don't go to the styles of yoga, that is a popular notion. Go to the schools of yoga. Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Kundalini Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Tantra Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Like the watch. Huh? There are
Mm-hmm.
many schools of yoga. Let me write it down so that you can remember. One is Hatha, Raja. You can add yoga after that. Hatha Yoga, Mantra, Tantra. They are the different schools of yoga. Laya, Bhakti, Karma. Karma, I can add couple of them. Jnana, and there are other schools of yoga. Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga. So we add yoga after that, the way we add human being, animal being, plant being, non living being. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
understand that. Where I touched on touching a very interesting topic. Huh? Same
Mm-hmm.
way, this frame known as Girish, but being is there. Girish being, every being, Casey being, Hayden being, your parents being, etc., etc. What we did in these two examples, watch. What is the essential nature of a watch? Time. Can I see the time? No. But can I understand the time by the watch? Yes. What does that mean? That time cannot be seen by the sense organs and the mind, but the intellect understands. Yes. Same way, being is common. Being is common. We don't see it. It cannot be seen by the sense organ and the mind. So what is main thing is the being is the essential nature. Time is the essential nature, right? Now start thinking. When I say Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Laya Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Yoga is common,
Mm-hmm.
time is common, being is common, right? We should, if we understand from where the word yoga has come, and then we can really understand. We say, oh, hatha is like almost, you can say, a battery operated outer frame of the watch plus time. But first, we have to understand what exactly is yoga. So, yoga, we have to go to the root of yoga. When first time the word yoga word was created and our masters used it, and at that time, what was the meaning of yoga? At that time, when watch was created, first time to know the time.
Mm-hmm.
So same way, we should how the word yoga is used by our great masters who discovered it, who invented it. Then we can easily understand Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Mantra Yoga, etc. etc. So once I understand the watch, I understand, oh, battery operated watch, okay, time. Analog watch, yes, I know. Digital, yes, digital watch. You see, instantly your intellect says, I understand. Watch is there. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Same way we will be clear about Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, etc., etc., etc. So now question comes, do we really understand what the word yoga means? How the masters first time used the word yoga and what did they mean? Like time for watch, being for everything in the world. I'm making it easy to understand.
Mm-hmm.
Let us examine from where the word yoga has come. The word yoga is mentioned in Vedas. Vedas are complete books. The oldest Veda is more than 5,000 years old. 5,000 from today. So we have 2,000 plus 3,500. More than 3,500 means 5,000 years ago, the oldest book, Veda. So, what was written about yoga there? So, once we understand that, then we can understand what is Hatha Yoga, Raj Yoga, Tantra Yoga, Mantra Yoga, etc. etc. So, when we meet together, we understand internally. Oh, we both are human beings. That's why we have to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully. So, in that Vedas text, we find the understanding of what the yoga word means. So in one of there are four Vedas, but in one of the Veda it says dissolve the objects of the world in the sense organ, dissolve the sense organ into the mind, dissolve the mind into the ego, dissolve the ego into the real self. You have achieved the highest yoga.
And yoga translates to the destruction of the mind, right?
Yeah, but now we see that we understand that is how the mind will be destroyed, or that is how the mind will be totally merged. So when we use the word destroy, we actually mean merging, melting. How melting? Consider salt like a water. Consider the salt. You put the salt into the water, what happens? The salt melts into the water, dissolves into the water completely. It has no identity of its own. So when we say destruction, so you have to be very clear that destruction means the mind merges, melts into the real self. Then what is yoga? To know the real self, to realize the real self, to find discovery of the real self. So now say you can easily understand, you can write down simply objects of the world hyphen sense organ hyphen or a dash mind. First you write objects of the world, then dash uh, sense organs dash mind dash ego dash real self. So now you can easily explain the meaning of the word yoga given in the Vedas. We have to go to the original meaning of the word, otherwise, it will not work. I have to know the original meaning of the watch. I have to know the original meaning of being. Then only there is an understanding. So, there, what now you look at your notebook objects dissolves into sense organs dissolves into the mind. Since mind dissolves into the ego and ego dissolves into the real self cannot be dissolved anywhere. It is being, it is real self, it is a time cannot be dissolved. Being cannot be dissolved, cannot be destroyed. Why? It is essential nature. There you get it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the meaning of the word yoga. When we say yoga means union, it also means destruction of the mind. But destruction means absorption of the mind, dissolving of the mind directly. So when we say union, Patanjali says yoga. That is why when now you see that when the mind is totally dissolved into the real self, that is the highest state of meditation. And that highest state of the meditation, when you are sitting into the highest state of meditation, you see, feel that real self, which is of the nature of permanent peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. Clear?
Clear.
I gave an example of a watch. Frame is different. Watch means time. Can I see the time? No. Sense organ and the mind cannot see the time. It can only see the digits. 10 minutes to 6. What do you mean? 10 minutes to 6 is time? Then what about 7 minutes? What about 15 minutes? No, no, it's also a time. No, you are talking of digits, numbers. So you cannot see the time, you can see the numbers. But that means we understand it is time. Watch, clock means time. Whether you have black watch, white watch, digital, battery operated, smart, any watch. What is common? Watch. What watch conveys? Time. Plant being, animal being, non living being, living being, human being. What is common? Being. Being is essential nature. That is our real self. That is what we understood. And then we explore the meaning of the word yoga. So I have to go to the origin from where, when it has started. What those great masters are saying. So they master saying, dissolve everything into the real self. What is left is the real self. That is the discovery of the real self. That is the goal of yoga. Now we come to the, because our study of the topic is yoga, so obviously we will go a little deeper. How animal being is different from human being?
Humans can know themselves?
Yes, they have an intellect, and animals, they have an intellect, but that intellect is not free. There is no freedom of the intellect. If they have an intellect which is totally free, then they can observe, they can choose, and they can put us in the zoo rather than we have put them into the zoo. They have intellect, no doubt, they are intelligent. But their intellect is programmed, it is conditioned, it cannot do anything except safety, security, food, and the sex. No, but come back to the topic. Animal being, human being. So you just said we understand the difference by knowing the properties and the functions of the two species, animal species and human species. That is the way we should understand. We should ask the question, okay, what are the properties of animal which is not present in the human being? What are the properties of a human being not present in the animal being? That is how we understand the difference and similarities, animal being and the human being. But being is common. Being is still there. Because they do not have highly developed intellect, they cannot choose consciously yoga. That is why they cannot practice yoga. We may have popular notion, popular. I'm not going to the popular styles of yoga. I have heard and read on the Google dog yoga, something like cat yoga. That is not present in our tradition. But anyhow, we are not there. We need not to criticize. We need whatever they are doing. Our focus should be on the authenticity, right? First thing. So it is knowing the real self, discovery of the real self or the true nature or the being or the pure consciousness, whatever we say. Every. So now we go to the next step of understanding that when we discover the real self, all the ignorance goes away, the delusion goes away, the negativity goes away. We bring an end to the suffering. So, yoga has two elements: one, end of suffering; second, realize my real self, know my real self. Now come to Hatha Yoga. So yoga will remain the same, means to know the real self, to end the suffering. These two things will remain with yoga. So when I say hatha, it means it is one approach. Raja, I say another approach. Bhakti, I say another approach. Mantra, I say another approach. Did you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Being is the same. A dog is an animal being. Their approach, their action are always different than the human being. Same way, hatha. So when we understand the meaning of the word hatha, then we understand by this approach, by these practices, we can reach to yoga. What is the goal of yoga, in whether it is Raja Yoga, whether it is Hatha Yoga, Mantra Yoga? Yoga is one. See that when you start guiding others like this, they have argument to no arguments will stand. Why? Because we are understanding there is no doubt. So hatha. Now come to the hatha. Hatha. So it is made up of two syllables. Hatha. So the ha means the sun flow. Tha means the moon flow. It is also known as right and the left flow. It is also known as our body has two types of energies based on their function. Ha, positive energy, tha is negative energy. Ha is positive, tha is. Always keep in your mind the goal of yoga and of suffering, and the mind should dissolve into the real self to know the real self. Clear? Hatha. So the first we are finding the meaning of the word hatha. So now there is one Upanishad which says Hakarah Kirtitah Suryeshtakaras Chandra Uchyati. Hakarah Kirtitah Suryeshtakaras Chandra Uchyati. Jivatma Paramatmano Atyogo Nigadhati. That is one definition. I'll explain it another way. योपान प्राणयोरेक्यं स्वरजोरेत्सोस्तथा सूर्या चन्द्रमसौरियोगो जीवात्म परमात्मनो एवं तु द्वन्द्वजालस्य संयोगो योगित्युक्तो. So let me pick up the last line which says network of delusion is removed. What is that delusion? That delusion is impurity. Like the water you see in the mirage, the blueness of the sky. Yeah? We claim that I am the body. No, I am the real self that is being. Being is calm. So when the mind is obsessed with the body and the mind, it has likes and dislikes, it has attachment and detachment. This causes the delusion in my mind. It prevents me to know the real self. To know the real self is yoga. So, hatha yoga means an approach or the set of practices that uses these two energies by the practice of asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, cleansing practices to reach to the same goal of yoga. What is the goal of yoga? Is to find the real self. So further it says when we have two energies, we energy is one, it has two set of function that is working in the physical body when you do the practice of asanas, when you're doing the pranayama and mudras and pratyaharas, you are trying to bring this energy into an equilibrium. So when that equilibrium is attained, the delusion is gone, mind merges into the real self internally, and we discover that is done directly by Raja Yoga. When we say Raja Yoga, so we directly enter into meditation. So, meditation also simply means emptiness, nothingness. It simply means you are dissolving the mind, melting the mind into the real self. Mantra Yoga by the approach of mantra. There are millions of mantras. Kundalini by the awakening the Kundalini. Yoga is the same. Yoga is the same. Being is the same. Watch is the same. You see, the yoga is the same. Jnana Yoga, there is another. Jnana means knowledge. We sharpen our intellect. We sharpen our intellect and we put the right knowledge in the intellect so that this mind cannot make me crazy. So, even by the knowledge, we can reach to the same yoga. Did you learn something new today?
Mm-hmm. So much.
Yoga. Whether you say Hatha Yoga, Raja Yoga, Mantra Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Gyan Yoga, plant being, animal being, human being, non living being. Huh? So you can easily understand, analog watch, manual watch, battery operated watch, digital watch, smartwatch. So outer level is different, but internal nature of yoga, goal of yoga is the same. It cannot be changed. We need not to worry about what is popular notion of yoga. Let it be there. Okay. Now if someone asks you that, oh, that is what I understand yoga is, then you start talking that this is how we understand. So when you talk of all these things, they cannot deny, they cannot refute, they cannot argue. That is the real nature of yoga. Hatha yoga uses the body and the energy inside. Raj yoga uses the mind. Knowledge yoga or the Jnana yoga uses the intellect. Battery operated watch, battery is used. Digits are used, digital watch. Smartness is used. Why they are known as smartwatch? Because not only you can connect it to your smartphone. Hmm? You can see the messages in the watch. So they are secondary nature. But the real is the time. That is the true nature of yoga. When we associate yoga, the word before, we put the word before, is what is that? Hatha yoga, okay. Hatha yoga, hatha is approach, raja is approach, mantra is an approach, kundalini is an approach, but yoga is always remains the same. Yoga always remains the same. That is the beauty of our tradition. So, yes.
I don't know if this will get through to you, but I think your Wi-Fi may have gone down. There we go.
There.
Confusing.
So, yeah, I don't know from which side is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, we will practice the traditional way of relaxation mindfulness practice. So that I will explain in detail, and I will record a separate file so that you listen to it again, doing the practice again and again, and you become a wonderful teacher. So let us start the practice. You can sit or lie down, whatever is preferred, or your sitting is good. So, when we give any relaxation practice or mindfulness, it is always better to give some introduction. That relaxation practice in yoga is moving the mind within, living within, away from the world outside. When the mind leaves the world, what happens? The mind drops its nature of wandering, and when it drops the nature of wandering, it connects to the deeper layer of ourself, and we find relaxation, mindfulness. Yeah, we can do this practice while sitting or laying down or in any posture. It helps us to manage our anxiety, distraction, improves focus, increase memory. It will take hardly 1 minute or 2 minutes of introduction. And when you ask that, yes, please close your eyes. And another way to do it, after the introduction, you can say that, let me recite a mantra that is the goal of yoga and meditation, or simply meditation. And you already know it. Asato ma satgamaya. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Mrityorma amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti. When you give the practice in a traditional manner, it will make a sense to your participant if you translate in a simple way. How translate? So you add some words carefully. The entire journey of the human life is to move from, progress from, drop falsehood and enter into the real self. That is why its meaning is lead us from the unreal to real self. Meaning of the second, lead us from the darkness to the light. The darkness is nothing but the ignorance that causes the suffering, and light is the knowledge of the real self. Meaning of the third, lead us from the death to immortality. Means it is freedom from the mind. So, my friends, now close your eyes gently. Your eyes are already closed. You are sitting in any posture or lying down, whatever is comfortable to you. So make sure your position of the body. And then you can say that let us prepare by two simple steps. First step is being comfortable, it is a preparatory step. Second is being carefree. Being comfortable takes care at the physical level, being carefree takes care at the mental level. How? Let us do it. Being comfortable. In that state of the body, with eyes closed and the mind is looking within, we follow being comfortable. We don't move the body, we move the mind. So move the mind on the neck joint. Being comfortable is always with the joints. So you should always remember this step clearly. So uh, moving the mind in that state to neck joint. So the moment the mind moves on the neck joint, you feel the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Very good. Move the mind. Move the mind on the shoulder joints. Be there for a while. Awareness and feeling. And when that feeling is there, you will experience what? You experience sensation, comfort, and steady. It is always good to guide the practice by constantly checking that you are calm and relaxed. You are not in a hurry. You need not to get upset. No, I forget that. Because that forgetfulness is making you an upset. And I already discussed. You need not to get upset. Pause is there, better it is. Move the mind on the shoulder joints, being there, feeling, experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The mind moves on the hip joint, being there, feeling, sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Your students should know clearly you are not in a hurry. Why? It will have a very positive impact on the mind of your students. Move the mind on the entire body, on all the joints of the body, being there, feeling sensation, comfort, and steadiness. First preparatory step is done. Second preparatory step pertains to the mind. Why? Mind, when it starts the practice in the very beginning or for the first time, the mind is constantly wandering because of these thoughts and the feeling. So that is why this preparatory step is important. Being carefree. Thoughts are coming and going. Just observe, just watch, be aware. Watch these thoughts are coming and going like a guard, as if the mind is sitting like a guard in, in a gated in a gate in a gated community. You are watching. Yeah, even this is also a thought. of the dog barking. Dog is helping us to remain unaffected. Very good. So the thoughts are coming and going like the people who live in a gated community. We are simply sitting like a guard. What that means, when we separate all the thoughts from us, we become carefree. So, two preparatory steps are done. So, we don't count in the fourth step relaxation mindfulness practice, we don't count the preparatory step. And now comes the first step. I can say look or move or become aware. See that. Become aware of the head and the neck. I can use that phrase, or move the mind on the head and the neck. I can also say feel head and the neck. So I will use the word move the mind on the head and the neck. A little pause and then experience sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the right arm. Be there. Where? On the right arm. Who is there? The mind. Mind may have many thoughts, but add one more. Move the mind on the right arm. We are not fighting with the mind. Move the mind on the right arm from the shoulder to the fingertips. Be aware, sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the left arm. Be there. Feel sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the rib cage and the front and the back. Be there. Remember, giving the practice, you should be totally relaxed, calm. Experience the sensation and awareness on the rib cage. Move the mind on the belly. Be there, feel, experience sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the right leg. Feel, be aware, sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the left leg. Be there, sensation and awareness. Move the mind on the entire body. You're not moving the body. Mind is moving on the body. From the top to the toes. Sensation and awareness. Now we'll go for the next second step, where we experience not only the deepening of the sensation, but a total stillness is present in the body. Look at the head and the neck. Or I would say, move the mind on the head and the neck. Be there. Look at it. Experience sensation and stillness. My friend, you may experience different types of sensation, maybe tingling, numbness, huh? Heaviness or lightness. Recognize and accept it, but do not move the body. And you can also say you are in safe hands. And after all, we are not doing any active practice. Move the mind on the right arm, be there, feel, experience sensation and stillness. Sensation may be tingling, numbness, heaviness, lightness. You may see the vision and the colors. It's all okay. Recognize, accept these sensations, and continue the practice. So, when you're giving a practice to the others, you can simply say it is a mindfulness practice. Move the mind on the left arm, be there, feel, experience sensation and stillness. Move the mind on the entire rib cage in the front and the back. Be there, feel sensation and stillness. Move the mind on the belly. Experience sensation and stillness. Move the mind on the right leg. Be there. Feel the sensation and stillness in the body. Move the mind on the left leg. Be there. And in the middle also, you can say you are aware that you are not moving the body, you are moving the mind. Experience sensation and stillness. The entire body. Move the mind on the entire body as if you are looking your own body from the top to the toes. Be there. And experience sensation, relaxation, and stillness. So we have done 2 steps. We understand that in this practice, you can say like this. In this practice, we have 4 steps. We have done 2. Now let us go to the 3rd step. Mind, look inside the forehead. Start looking at the forehead. You feel the sensation on the skin of the forehead. And then ask the mind to look inside the skin. You may find space, emptiness, darkness. The moment you feel that space, say in your mind, I'm in peace. Or you can say the Sanskrit phrase Shantoham and be there. Check. The mind continues to live into that space. If it is so, the mind is living within, it has withdrawn from outside to inside, and that will definitely give you relaxation and a meditative state. One more time, look inside the forehead in the space or emptiness or blankness. The moment you see the emptiness, blankness, or the space, say in your mind, I'm the peace. See, does the mind merges, dissolves into the space? That is what we have studied. And stay there. One more time. Looking inside the forehead, become aware or feel the space, emptiness, or blankness. The moment you feel, say in your mind, I'm the peace or Shantoham. Check. Does the mind merges into the infinite space? If it merges, do nothing, remain there. Very good. So that is the third step. One step is left. What the fourth step does, the fourth step prevents the mind to go where to go out, so that we can continue to be into that state, we can deepen our experience. What is the fourth step? We're almost doing nothing, looking at the breath. So now the mind is looking at the breath from inside. To allow the intellect to know what it is looking. So what we know? This breath is going in, this breath is coming out. We feel it. That is the second point. First point, we know the breath is going in and coming out. We also see or feel the sensation of the breath at the tip of the nose. Now we introduce the third point of we do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. We allow the breath to flow on its own. So we maintain the 3-point awareness. First point, you know the breath is going in and out. You know the sensation of the breath that you feel at the tip of the nose. Third point, you do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. You are aware, you are maintaining that awareness. What will happen? It will prevent the mind to go out. By regular practice, the time comes when the mind continues to live within, not influenced, not dictated, not carried away by any thought, even if it enters into the mind. Just think of that state. Just for the sake of understanding and the knowledge, you're going to be a teacher. So, sometime what happens, people start snoring. That is normal in the beginning. Is snoring good or bad? There is nothing good and bad. In the beginning, if you fall into sleep, it is okay. But by regular practice, you are able to maintain your awareness in the state of relaxation and calmness. So, what happens with a lot of people, Their mind is habituated and heavily conditioned to fall into sleep the moment they feel some point of relaxation. But obviously, in a higher meditation journey, the sleep is an obstacle, it's a hindrance, but not in the beginning. Now, do nothing. So, when you do nothing, you are still aware. You are aware of the sensation, comfort, and steadiness in the body. You are aware of sensation and stillness in the body. You are still aware of the breath. You're doing nothing. A sense of calm, poise. So I just said that how we should give the traditional practice. Traditional means that we should use the mantra in the beginning. We should introduce what exactly we are doing. And now, before we return, it is good to chant the Shanti Mantra that we have chanted in the very beginning. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. It means let everyone be happy. Now, you see that your students, their mind is already within, and when you are chanting this, it will have a deeper impact. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. It means let everyone be happy. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. Sarve santu niramaya. Let everyone be healthy. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Let everyone be blessed. Now, last one. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. Let none suffer from any misery in this world. Ma kaschid dukha bhag bhave. No sorrow and suffering for anyone. Why we see this? It helps our mind much more than anyone. We need not to think that whether this word and goes to everyone, but we expand our mind. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Two times, minimum three times. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You remember her Shanti? How we do it? Bring your mind on the right. Feel the change. What change? Feel the change in the sensation. That sensation tells you how deeply you are relaxed and calm. Move the mind on the left hand. Know the changes. Now lift your both the palms slowly. Place it on your eyes. Open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. How are you, my young friend?
That was great.
That was great.
Hmm.
Yes, you should make everyone great by giving the practice in the same way. We almost did it for 30 minutes.
Wow.
And you did it successfully. I was looking and observing you. Regular practice, you do it. And that is how you should introduce. Huh? Uh, in the beginning, if you are introducing the practice to kids, younger ones, obviously it should be in between 10 minutes, or maybe within 10 minutes you complete. So you can do it little faster. But when you are doing it to the adults, it is better to expand that, maybe 20 minutes or 30 minutes. So you see, the first part is introduction. Whatever we are giving, if I don't know, people have the same query. I don't know what you are giving. Can you help me to know it? That is why we need to give introduction. Otherwise, people say, close your eyes, and the mind is already agitated. Why should I close my eyes? So when you explain it, huh? So introduction. So you should listen to it and understand that how you introduce. Otherwise, the simple way to understand, intellectually you think what, why, how. What? Relaxation, mindfulness practice in yoga is moving the mind within, asking the mind to live within, to get rid of all the distractions. Result is why. Now I'm answering why. Result is inner calmness, relaxation, and peace. How? We will follow the preparatory steps, and then we will do the 4 steps of relaxation mindfulness practice today. Introduce. So then you say, get ready. External preparation. External preparation means what? There
Uh,
be many participants, their place, how they want to do the practice while laying down or sitting, how comfortably they sit, or how comfortably, without any unease, they lie down. So if any person is lying down, don't say anything. Lie down. Yes, check their toes. What happens, those people who have little stress, habitual level, and then what happens? They keep their toes stiff, stretched. So tell them, give the introduction. You know that you are lying on your back. Leave the toes hanging on the sides. Or you can use your own phrase, but you have to maintain awareness when the person is lying and wants to do the practice while lying down. The toes are hanging on the sides, and then it is always preferable to put the hands facing the ceiling and then check it again. Check their, oh, they stretch their fingers. No, they already have a stress. Their mind will remain focused on these fingers with the stress. They cannot relax. Loosen all your fingers, allow them to bend naturally. So once you have explained this, then look at their eyes. Are they squeezing their eyes or their eyes are closed gently? This is what the external preparation is. And if the person is sitting, doing while sitting, then check after sitting. Sometimes what happens, people sit and then they start fidgeting. They start crossing their leg, alternating their legs. So make them comfortable. No, you need not to put your toes on other thighs. Make it more comfortable. Better to expand it. You may stretch your leg. You may keep your legs forward, or find out the most comfortable position of your knees and the legs, so that you are watchful, you are mindful. Because you are a teacher, you are giving a practice. So you looked at, and then also sometime you will find out, sometime people lift their shoulder, they start moving. So then comes the preparatory step. There are two preparatory steps: being comfortable, it is internal at the physical level, and being carefree at the mental level. So, what we do the moment you give the preparatory step of being comfortable, remember that we are moving the mind on the joints. We are moving the mind on the joints. And we are asking the participants, after moving the mind on the joints, S, C, S. Sensation, comfortable, and steadiness. So we are pointing the mind to experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Huh? That is what I said. Moving the mind on the neck joint, be there, feel sensation, comfort, and steadiness. So give a pause, little pause. You can only give a pause if you are relaxed and giving the practice. After all, you are giving the relaxation mindfulness practice, so teacher should always be relaxed. You should not be in a hurry. So now another point that I discussed. So there are three ways you can choose any phrase. Move the mind on the neck joint, or look at the neck joint mentally, or become aware of the neck joint. All the three phrases are similar. They mean the same thing. So then you say sensation, comfort, and steadiness. We use the word steadiness there, and in the second step, we use the word stillness. That's the difference. So now you have done the first preparatory step, and the second preparatory step is being carefree. Because people, almost 99.99999% of the people, the moment they close their eyes and their mind, they start feeling as if their mind is wandering. So it is very important to give them the step of being carefree, so that every participant understands it is but a habitual nature of the mind to have lot of thoughts when we close our eyes. So they feel at ease. So, what we do being carefree? So, I have given you many similes, metaphors. You are standing across a road watching the traffic. You are separate from the traffic. Then, now take the mind of the participants. You see, Mental traffic is also like this. You can be separate from this mental traffic. Let it come, let it go, don't worry. Being carefree. Or, I have given another example today. You are like a guard. Did you hear that? You're like a guard watching. People are going and coming in a gated community. You are not disturbing anyone. You are watchful. You are not attached. So, my friends, continue to see these thoughts will continue to come and go. Let them come, let them go. And other similes that you may remember or recall. Then we come to the first step. Remember, in the first step and the second step, we move the mind not on the joints, on the major parts of the body. That is the big difference. Do you remember? Move the mind on the head and the neck. That is our first step. We also say the same instruction in the second step also. But what is the difference between the first and the second step? We say move the mind on the head and the neck, be there, experience sensation and awareness. That is our first step. Second step, in first phrase is the same. Move the mind on the head and the neck, experience, do you remember? Sensation and stillness. Are you clear?
Mm-hmm.
In the step one, the first instruction is the same. Move the mind on the right arm. First step, sensation and awareness. Second step, sensation and stillness. Are you clear now from today?
Crystal.
So you see the major parts, head and the neck, right arm, rib cage, belly. You can also include the spine, right leg, left leg, entire body. So how you understand, you should remember through the fingers. Head and the neck, right arm, left arm, rib cage, belly, at the spine, right leg, entire body. How many points? 9 points. So when you do it as a teacher, you are doing it, you will never forget it. Head and the neck, move your mind on the head and the neck in the first step. You say experience, sensation, and awareness. Then move the mind on the right arm, the same instruction. So now you will remember that now you have to take the 9 points. It's a 9 point awareness in the first step and second step. Differences? In the step number one, you invoke sensation and awareness as an experience. In the second step, you invoke sensation and stillness. Clear? What about the third step? So, third step, we inspire the mind of the participants to let their mind live within and become aware of the infinite space. Why? Our masters say that the piece, their shape and the size of the piece is infinite space. So, what is the third step? Casually, in that state of sensation and stillness, we are reminding the participants of the previous two steps. In the state of sensation and stillness in the body, Look at the skin of the forehead. Go inside the forehead. So, what to see? See either the space or emptiness or blankness. The moment you see the space or blankness, say to in your mind, I am the peace, and keep looking into the space 3 times. And the fourth step, I spoke about it today, that the fourth step will help you to prevent the mind to run outside. It will remain inside. How? Again, it is better. One is a wonderful, good teacher when he repeats and reminds in the state of sensation in the stillness. That is the result of the first two steps. Mind living within, from within. Now we come to the fourth step. Look at the breath. Know the breath is going in and out. That is first point of awareness. Second point, when the breath goes in and out, it strikes the tip of the nose. You feel the sensation. Third point is most important. Do not change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Why? The mind will go habitual if you change the rate and the rhythm of the breath. Meditation is not habitual. So, this is what comes as a fourth step. So, after the fourth step, it is always good to check. Once you have given the instruction of the fourth step, you you minimum spend 2 minutes in the fourth step. Minimum. And after 2 minutes, say, now do nothing, live into the state of doing nothing. You are in the state of mindfulness. Again, spend 1 minute minimum. Then, if you are giving a practice for the first time, it is always good to say, I will recite the mantra. Please keep listening this mantra. It will help you deepen the practice. So you chant it, you explain the meaning, and then you ask the people, participants to return to share their experiences. So from today, you are crystal clear, my young friend. So I believe. Why should I say, I hope, I believe? You are a wonderful person. You know you have a commitment. You will give that practice to the people. But first, listen to this again and again and understand this practice.
Well,
That is all for today. Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful evening.
Same to you.